Welcome back to Crazy Stupid Midlife, where we are rebranding midlife one episode at a time.
We're talking to someone today who's all about helping women take back their power, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Sasha is a certified life, health, and fitness coach and the founder of Lean Powerment. Hi, Sasha. Welcome. Tell us how Lean Powerment started and what inspired your mission.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you guys so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. I have the same purpose and passion as the two of you. I am all about helping women in their midlife feel good and feel like themselves again, right?
My struggle.
Right? We're like lost for a while, and I'm trying to bring us back. My coaching has evolved with my age. I actually got into this industry very young. I started as a health and lifestyle coach when I was 23, but let me rewind a little bit. I started off in the fitness space, so a personal trainer, group exercise instructor. From there, I went into holistic nutrition, very much a passion of mine. I was raised by a very hippy-dippy mom, if you want to call it, non-traditional, and I loved a lot of what she stood for as far as nutrition being such an anchor into our health. So I went into holistic nutrition, and I realized with training my clients in fitness and nutrition, there was a really huge missing component, which was accountability and community. So
absolutely.
Lean Powerment was built kind of on those three pillars: exercise, nutrition, and accountability. It stands for Ladies Exercise Accountability and Nutrition.
Which I love. Yeah. I didn't know that. So lean.
Lean, yeah. Not necessarily in that order of importance, but for the acronym, that's how it started.
It also works with that whole concept of like leaning into things. I love that.
Exactly.
Which is what I thought it meant. So
awesome.
I love that you explained the acronym.
I thought it meant lean as in skinny.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that, because it actually did start. I started as a weight loss coach. When I became a health coach, I started in weight loss, and I have recently, in this age in my life, transitioned to more of a lifestyle coach. So it's not about losing weight. It's about feeling great.
Yeah,
and
being healthy.
in our bodies and being healthy for longevity. Yeah.
Which I also love, because I feel, at least for me, I'm so tired of trying to lose weight. I just want to feel great. And that also rhymes. So
yes,
I love that.
yes. And there's so many frustrations, right? We have so many physical and emotional changes happening in this time in our lives. And instead of the resistance and going against it, I'm teaching my clients how to accept it and work with it. That's really kind of my philosophy.
There's such a wide range of things you offer. Holistically, like transforming a person in midlife, who's struggling just with, is it where to go in a career? Is it just health? Is it how to eat? Is it how to exercise? Like what can they come to you for? What's that look like?
I love that question, because it's all encompassing what I do as a holistic approach. And I love that you asked that question. It really does start with, the physical health for me, our physical health as far as exercise, nutrition. But then we have to incorporate the lifestyle. So sleep management, stress management, the relationships that we have in our lives, what we're actually living for and going after in our lives at this point. So many of us have taken a road that maybe isn't serving us anymore, or is draining our energy and not helping us get to the next level.
Absolutely.
So I always tell clients when they come to me, they're like, so are you going to help me with my fitness? Are you going to help me with my nutrition? What are we doing here? I've had clients change careers working with me. I've had clients lose over 100 pounds working with me.
Wow.
I've had multiple clients come off of medications, reverse medical diagnosis like prediabetes and high blood pressure. So to answer your question, I really do a lot of things. It's really just what my clients need at that time in their life and what support they need from the community that we have.
Yeah.
So it's like a big picture, like circular link in terms of your health, your fitness, your spirituality.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
It really is. It really is. And if you think about it, you can't just eat right and not exercise or not sleep well and not manage your stress and expect to lose weight and feel great. All those pieces have to come in play. You could have all the, the health, physical attributes going for you, but you're in an unhealthy relationship or you're miserable at your career. You're not going to be a happy, healthy person, right?
Yeah, they're all interconnected.
Exactly.
Well, exactly. Just like last week when I was talking, we had our touch base and I was talking about the job that I quit after 2 weeks because it was not serving me. It was overwhelming and I could just see the spiral and that just taking over my whole entire life and making me miserable. in every aspect because I couldn't work out. I was stressed out. I mean, I couldn't eat right. I mean, it's just, so it does.
Do the dishes.
I couldn't do the dishes. So it does. It just is like a domino effect.
Imbalance. Yes. I related to that, Danielle, a lot when I listened to that episode because I had done similar. Last year, I took on way too much. Yeah. And I was like, I can do it all. I'm Superwoman. And I am a single mom, so I also have that aspect for me.
So you are Superwoman because we really are. It's just that we are trained to think that we are supposed to be doing more than we can or should.
Right.
Everything.
All the things all the time, and also do well at all the things all the time.
Yes.
And be in a good mood too.
Oh, yes.
Because otherwise you're a bitch.
Right. And look good. Put yourself together, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
don't lose yourself.
Sexy.
I mean, right.
Yep.
Look happy.
Yeah.
Please,
be ready for
everybody.
action and all the things.
Yeah.
all the time.
It's not realistic.
No.
So,
No.
Yeah. So you said you're a single mom.
I am. Yeah.
So you know how hard it is to juggle all the balls.
Balance. It's really important that I structure my life with strategy and planning, preparing. My most favorite things about coaching my clients is meeting with them on a monthly basis, talking about their strategy for the month. What did they do well last month? What are they looking to do this month? What kind of goals? What shifts have happened? I've had clients, the beginning of the year, everyone's ambitious, like this is gonna be the year.
New Year's resolution.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. And two of my clients just this year had major health diagnosis that took them completely off path, not where they were planning to go. They had a totally different vision for what they were gonna create for this year. And reached out to me immediately and like, Coach, we got to talk. Like, we got to strategize. How am I going to get through this? How do I do this? And that's what I love about what I do is because I take, my clients where they're at, what they're working on, what is happening to them. This is a time in our life where there are, health issues that start to come up, and your lifestyle prior to this time plays a big role.
You,
yes,
right?
It catches up with you. And so then
your
they're
body
like,
remembers.
yes, I love, yep. And so they're looking for like, oh my gosh, this wasn't planned. It's never planned to have something like that, but there's strategies and ways to get around it. And so that's really what I do is I help them strategize their month, their weeks, their days, and we really break it down to that detail.
So in the beginning, that when you start to work with someone, you obviously have to do like a deep dive on, it's almost like a physician, you just have to get all the history, figure out what they're doing, how they're doing, is consistency part of it, and then you put a plan in place for them to get better. That's kind of what I do as a nurse practitioner.
Exactly.
And do you follow up them daily, weekly, monthly? How does that look?
So it's dependent on what they want and need. There's a couple options. So we as a tribe meet twice a month. I do Zoom meetings with my tribe twice a month, come up with a topic. That topic we're going to run through the whole entire month. I usually add a book to that topic so they have something to read or listen to that encourages that topic. We check in with each other, and then there's one-on-one private coaching. So you don't have to have me as a private coach. You can still be part of the tribe and be part of these meetings and have the community and the accountability. But most of my clients do hire me as a one-on-one coach, and so they can hire me for 2 sessions a month, 1 session a month, every week. It's totally dependent on what they need, and every one of my clients has different needs. So it's just really dependent, and they change. So one of my clients is trying to get pregnant, and she's like, I want to meet with you more often because there's a lot of changes going on. And so it just depends on where they're at and how often they need someone to help strategize.
And then are you personal train as well, right?
I did.
You did?
Yes, for many, many years.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I was a certified personal trainer. I trained in gyms. I ran gyms. I did an in-home personal training company in Scottsdale, Arizona, for years. So that's where it all started for me.
I see. Okay.
So my friend Kathy is how we connected.
Yeah.
And Kathy did a 100 days healthy challenge.
Yeah.
And I remember she sent me an email and she said, hey, I'm doing this. I love it. She sent it to a bunch of friends, right? It was like a, wide distribution. And she said, I'd love it if you would do it with me. I was leaving shortly after that email to go see my daughter in Copenhagen. So I was like, well, I'm going to be in Copenhagen. I'm not going to be doing 100 days of healthy. But that sounded so interesting. And so I replied and I said, this is great. I would love to connect with your your coach. This is amazing. And she said, yeah, she's really, changed my life. And she spoke very highly of you. So tell us about that 100 Days of Healthy Challenge, because I'm so interested.
I'm so glad you brought that up. The Healthy 100 Challenge is the first, that was kind of my debut, Lean Powerment's debut into the public. It actually stemmed from postpartum depression for me after having my son. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was very excited to be a mom. I was an older mom. I'm a more mature mother. I had my son at 36, and I was struggling with getting back to my fitness routine. And it was so foreign for me to have a struggle because I had been in the health and fitness industry since I was 20. So 16 years in the industry as a professional. I was like, why is this so hard to get my body moving again? And like I was having depression. I just wasn't feeling myself.
Yeah.
So I came up with a challenge. I was like, well, if I could move my body every day for just 20 minutes for 100 days, that would create the habit. So you need over 90 days to create a really solid habit. So I made it 100 days because it sounds good. Healthy 100. It really was just about the rhyming.
The alliteration.
And I did it for myself. The first time I failed. The second time, failing meaning I didn't finish 100 days. It's 6. So what the challenge is it's 6 days a week, 20 minutes a day minimum of movement. And that's it. That's all the challenge is. But the first time I ran through it, I don't know how far I got into it, but then I fell off and I kind of was like, oh, well, I fell off. Next year came around. I always did it in January. Next year came around and I nailed it. I was like, I did it. Like, this is awesome. If I could get more people to do this, I can really get people, women to move their bodies daily. Like, I felt so good. And that habit led me like all the way through the year. I just kept doing it. It just felt like brushing my teeth. I did it every day. So that's where it kind of started. And when I was able, I had been working for some other companies where I had non-compete agreements online. So I couldn't roll it out to the public. But when that all those agreements went away, I rolled it out, and it was very successful the first time. I did like a 2-week marketing and had 50 people sign up, and I was like, this is insane. Like, this is exactly what I want. I've always wanted like hundreds or thousands of people to go through the challenge. One of my biggest goals as a health coach is just have women moving their bodies daily. Just move your body every day. It is not, I call it your mental medicine. So I now move my body in this time in my life for my mental medicine more than my physical, although I want to be functional. Like, I want to be able to bend and lift and twist. Yes,
sit
right.
on the toilet, walk upstairs.
Thank you.
Things you don't really think about. And then
tying your shoe.
You're 80 and you wish you had.
Exactly.
And I saw your Instagram post yesterday. I loved it, where you were on the beach.
Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly what you said in the caption because it was a little bit longer, but you said something like, I'm not doing this for my physical health today. You said barefoot on the beach, which I loved, because you're also doing that earthing.
Grounding, yeah.
Yeah, and so you're walking on the beach barefoot, and you said that you were doing it for your mental clarity. I think that's what you said, which I loved that you touched on that too, because, I mean, workouts are great for your body, right? They help you stay healthy and fit and all the things, but sometimes they just help you see life in a better light.
100%, 100%.
And so you're doing it because afterwards you're going to feel better. You're going to feel more energized. You're going to feel more light, and you're going to feel more positive.
Yes.
Because sometimes you can get stuck in a negative cycle. And at least for me, when I do a physical cardio workout, strength doesn't do the same. I love strength training, but cardio is what makes the click, where when I'm done, I'm like, okay, I'm in a better headspace right now. And it could be 15, 20 minutes. So that 20-minute marker that you mentioned is amazing, because that is doable every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to just point out one thing. One of the things I tell my clients all the time is that the 2 recommendations for getting the mental clarity or the mindset shift is breathing heavy and sweating. So when you say strength training doesn't do it the same exact thing, I have to agree with you. Yeah. There's something that happens when you're dripping sweat and you're breathing heavy that actually makes that mind shift happen.
I agree.
I definitely love strength training for anytime you're like have anger or aggression or frustration. I say push those heavy weights, because that's a really great way to get it out. But for a mindset shift. It's, mental health shift.
Cardio.
It's cardio.
An intense cardio.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be for long. No. And at this age, this is the thing, misconception. Like, oh, we have to work out so much and do so much cardio.
Hours and hours and hours. You don't.
Please don't. Please don't do that. It's really about interval training at this age. Mm-hmm. So we want to take short bursts of high intensity, drop it down, grab some fat, burn it up there in that high intensity, come back down. And that's really how, for a weight loss, for middle-aged women, that's a really powerful way to do it.
Can you explain like what that looks like? So for 30 minutes, what would that look like? You're doing this, and that. And
yeah. So like I tell my clients, for a 30-minute session, warm up for 5 minutes, gradually increase your pace or your resistance or incline or whatever you're doing. And then alternate, say a minute on of a intensity level that may be like 80 to 85%
on the treadmill?
Wherever you are.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
You could do it on a spin bike, a treadmill, a hike. I mean, you could do it really however you wanted to do it. I always say pick your favorite equipment, your cardio equipment, or your favorite thing to do. You can actually do it dancing in your living room, but you just want to watch your heart rate and make sure you're coming up to those 85% of your max and then dropping back down closer to 65, 70, allowing your body to come back down and then bring it back up. So I would just use like the minute on and minute off as a
the burst.
General. Yeah,
the burst is important.
Yeah. Yep.
And then, so do you do weight training during that time, or like, because I know for women our age, we need a lot of muscle.
Right, we're losing a lot of muscle mass, and also
so we
bone
have to
density.
build it. And how can we build? So how can we, without feeling overwhelmed?
How can we do both?
How can we do it all and not dedicate our whole day to feeling
because
like
very few people
we have to do this? Yeah.
2 hours to use at the gym.
Right.
So let's say we want to accomplish both in an hour, or let's say we want to accomplish both in a week. Like, what's a good routine? Should we be hitting both every day, or should we like alternate?
I love all this. You guys.
Because
come into coaching. No. So I'm gonna kind of break this down in a couple ways. So let's go for the day or for the hour session first. I love an hour workout. I love giving an hour of time to yourself every single day. I really do. If you can carve out an hour, great. If you can't, get that 20 minutes in, like we talked about earlier. An hour for me at the gym looks like this. I personally start with cardio because my body takes longer to warm up and move. Not like it used to. It takes a little bit.
Absolutely.
The joints, everything's
That's
a little
so
stiff
true.
and sore. So I start with my cardio. I do 20 minutes of interval training, just how I described.
Okay.
I move on to strength training. Depending on what I'm working on for that month, for that whatever, I change. So sometimes I work on strength training and building muscles. Sometimes I'm working on muscle toning. Sometimes I'm working on muscle endurance. Those are all different strength
Goals.
Conditioning in themselves. So depending on what I'm doing, let's just say I'm working on building muscle and strength, I would probably hit the weights 3 times during the week, and I would make sure I hit every muscle group those 3 times. So maybe a full body, lower reps, so like closer to like a 10 rep max, a couple sets, and hit every muscle group.
So are they heavier weights then?
Heavier weights. And then if let's just say you're going for toning, let's just say you're like, I don't need more muscle. I just need to now start toning. I've got a lot of muscle mass on me. I need to start toning up the muscle and using more endurance. Then you would up the reps, drop the weight, and then maybe hit it a little bit more consistently. So you would break up the muscle groups. So upper body one day, lower body the next day, upper body again, lower body again, and alternate that way. Again, there's so many fun fitness routines and strategies. That's why I love what I do, because every body is different and whatever they're working on. And I get to be creative with them and go, okay, how much time do we have this week? What are we trying to accomplish here? And that's not just for fitness, that's for nutrition as well. There's plenty of people who are still trying to learn what's a carb, what's a macro, what are high inflammatory foods, what are processed foods, why is sugar so terrible at this age? It's the devil, by the way.
Right.
If you guys know anything about me or have been watching me or listening,
Are you sugar free?
I have been sugar free since 2010. I quit sugar. I was a sugar addict. I am
recovering sugar addict.
I'm a recovering sugar addict, and I do not say that lightly. I have helped a lot of clients, and a majority of them cannot quit. And it's a very true addiction.
It's in everything.
It's in everything.
Even things that you don't even feel are sweet.
Marinara sauce.
Yes.
Yes.
Salsa. I mean, everything.
And I'm not
has
crazy
sugar.
like with that, but refined sugar in general, just like, come on, guys, like candy is for kids.
Yeah.
So I always tell my clients,
not
I'm like,
even.
candy's for
Yeah.
kids,
Or
but
not
not
even,
even,
yeah.
not even. I don't even, like, my son does not do sugar, but.
Yeah. My daughter is a completely different person when she has any kind of sugar.
Right?
Capri Suns are the devil.
Oh, gosh. It's like
Sorry,
instant to the
Capri
brain.
Sun, but you are. It changes her.
It's like-
I don't know what's in it. It's
Liquid
like sugar
crazy.
and crack, but I don't. She
Liquid
turns
sugar and
into.
crack.
It's true, though. It's so I'm like, it's
awful.
not even for kids. You're right. It's really, sugar is the devil. And it wreaks havoc on not just our physical health, but our mental health a lot.
Oh,
People
yeah.
don't realize
Our
the gut health.
brains.
Yeah, our brains.
I
Yeah.
remember reading a book once about sugar, and this was years ago, but I just remember this because I thought it was crazy. So they had a spider like build a web, right? And then they gave the spider sugar somehow. I don't remember
my
how.
God.
And the spider built a web after having sugar, and it was the most crazy web you've ever seen. It was like chaos. You know, spider webs are very organized,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They have all the lines and all the right places to catch the bugs. After the spider had sugar and built a web, it was like the most erratic, wild thing you've ever seen. Wow. And I remember seeing that picture in the book I was reading. I feel like it was like sugar, I don't know, sugar kills or something like this. Years ago I read this. And I still remember that diagram and thinking,
That's interesting.
that is crazy. Like mentally it makes you like,
Chaotic.
erratic.
Why do you think so much of us have ADHD or ADD?
Oh,
or
my goodness.
The kids and the adults. I mean, it's hard to focus.
And every holiday is revolved around sugar.
Thank you.
I mean, come on.
I know. Can we change it?
Halloween.
Yeah,
We're changing all the
I
desserts.
think Renee and I decided we don't want to do holidays anymore.
Oh, my goodness. It's so hard for
We're
me.
going on strike.
I'm like the health coach mom. My poor son, I'm like, we're giving out pencils and erasers for Halloween. But
My husband buys back Halloween candy from my daughter.
What do they
my
put?
God.
It's just a waste of
Buys it
money.
back.
such a-
He will
yeah.
literally pay her for the candy.
when I was pregnant with my son, you guys, and people wanted, you know how you want to feel the baby kick? Like, can I feel your baby? Is it kicking? I'd be like, oh, give me some sugar. And I would eat sugar. And I'm not kidding you. My son would be like kicking like crazy. And that's when I was like, this is so bad.
Yeah.
And I had learned that if you can refrain from feeding your child sugar for the first 2 years, they're not supposed to become sugar addicts. And I did that. And my son does not, he likes it like a kid, but Halloween, he does not, he takes that whole bag and we get rid of it. It's such a waste. It's
Yeah.
like the biggest waste, but yeah.
It's so true.
It's crazy. Sugar is, and it's the most addictive substance.
And they serve it in the schools. I would like to point out. Yesterday, I was watching
Chocolate
one of my
milk.
students, not joking, eating from a container of Lucky Charms dry in my class. That is what he got for free at the school.
What?
High school.
What?
Yes.
The food and nutrition for the schools, they need a revamp.
It's really bad. And then he also had a little box of apple juice, okay? 100% what's it called? Not real juice.
Yeah.
From concentrate.
Okay.
And he had one of those like protein bars, granola things or whatever. And I looked at it. I actually took a picture of it because I was like, this is so bad. So he basically ate a lot of processed food and sugar as his like brunch and then had to pay attention in my class.
Yeah, no.
There's no way.
Come on.
No. I mean, again, you know, with my clients, I'm always like, we have to have the main staples, especially like, you know, protein in every meal.
Yes.
that is just a
Can you
bullet
give me
point.
some ideas of what protein is? Because protein, everyone always thinks I got to eat a steak. Steak or chicken. So what other options are there?
Yeah, great. Lean proteins is what I'm all about. So eggs in the morning, make little egg cups,
egg
breakfast
cups are great.
burritos. I love doing protein pancakes for my son because that has protein in it and the carbs. I put almond butter on it.
Do you do like the Kodiak or do
I
you?
do
love
Kodiak. I
Kodiak
actually made my own protein pancakes for years. Easy recipe: 1 cup oatmeal, 1 cup cottage cheese, 1 cup egg whites
Yum.
in a blender. Add cinnamon, a little bit of salt. Perfect pancake.
Oh, I love this.
Everyone will love it, and it's a bodybuilder recipe. When I was younger, in my late 20s, early 30s, I wanted to be a fitness model, and so I wanted to be magazines, do exercise
yeah.
videos, compete on stage, and the perfect breakfast for a fitness model are those 3 components: the egg whites, the oatmeal, and the cottage cheese. And I was like, I
love
made it into a
cottage
pancake.
cheese. It's making a comeback.
Oh, it really
Yes,
is.
it is. It is
We've talked
actually
about
making
that.
a
I can
comeback.
eat a whole container of cottage cheese with nothing in it.
I do like cottage cheese.
I mean, it's good with pineapple. You know, you can even make
Yeah,
it savory
yeah.
with like salt and
Yep,
tomatoes.
yep.
Is
just eat it plain.
it is it appropriate to put bananas in those pancakes, or is
I
that
put
sugar?
fresh bananas on my son's pancakes every morning. So
Oh,
he has
okay.
almond butter, Careful with the peanut butter, guys. Also with the processed
But why with
butters.
the peanut butter? Why with the peanut butter versus the almond butter?
Almonds just have a more nutrient dense format profile. Yeah, thank you.
Peanuts are like a legume versus almonds are a tree nut.
Right,
So
right. Peanuts
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and they just a lot of the the peanut butters, they put so many other things in them. So the almond butter, I do that from Costco as well.
We can't have almond butter because my kids are allergic to tree nuts.
Oh, bummer. Well,
so then
you don't have to have almond butter.
We'll
You can still have bananas,
else.
and I do
yes,
and also the real maple syrup. Real maple syrup.
I love real maple syrup.
Not the stuff
Not
that's
the Aunt Jemima.
But where would we get real maple syrup? And how do we know it's real maple syrup?
Yeah, Joe's, right?
Costco's where I buy mine, and you definitely want to just look for
like on the ingredients, it just says maple
organic maple syrup.
Yeah.
Like not the processed.
So what is maple syrup made of? What is it made
of?
The sap. I think
is it
maple tree? Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And it is a sugar. I mean, yes, I'm not.
But
like,
it's a natural occurring
it's
sugar.
Like honey.
It's like honey. Exactly. Okay. If you go back to your question about some proteins, also like Greek yogurt is really high in protein. So if you're a yogurt person and you like, let's just, every day. You do?
Every
day. Good
day.
job.
The Faya 2%.
Good.
Like every day on repeat for like 9 months now.
I love that. Rinse and repeat. We can come back to that, but I love that you say you eat that every day. It's a big thing, consistency. But yeah, lean proteins are fish, seafood. I'm not a big chicken person, so ground turkey, I'll make a taco salad for my son and I. Salmon is a big one for women our age. We got to get the omegas in for our brains and our skin and all the things. And we're trying to stay away from the saturated high fat proteins. So the steak would be a saturated high fat protein, like a burger would be the same. So stick with those lean proteins.
What about beans?
Beans are legumes, and it's
kind of some controversy, right? If
they're
good or bad.
I know. I stopped. I was like,
this is why they're so confusing for people.
It is so
there's
confusing.
So much information out there, and
you don't know what to sift. So it's probably good to have a life coach because they can say for your body type,
well, that's
for
what
you.
I was going to say that earlier too because that's so true. I have a friend right now who she called me yesterday, and she's like, "I hurt myself at the gym." She's like, everything I hear is that progressive overload, right? So she felt like she wasn't pushing herself hard enough. So she lifted more weights than she really felt comfortable doing. And now she's got like some pain. And I think it might be her piriformis only because I've had the same issue. I know what she's describing. She's at the doctor right now. She's like, I made an appointment. I'm in so much pain. She has those patches that you wear for pain.
The lidocaine patches.
Salin or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I just was trying to do what I thought I was supposed to do. And I said, I know we have so much misinformation. And I said, we're actually talking to a life and fitness coach tomorrow. So I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from this episode as like her body, maybe she wasn't ready for it yet, right? Exactly. Maybe she wasn't ready for that like increase in weight. Maybe she needed to progressively get to that point.
Yes.
But you hear all this not misinformation, but it's just so much information. Mm-hmm. How do you like process it all and make it make sense for you? But you as a life coach, like Danielle just said, you look at that person's individual story, individual background, individual ability, and you create a plan for them.
Yes.
Specific and tailored to them.
Yes, because some people can't process legumes and beans. And I have a client who's like that. Yes.
That's me.
Right. So it's not necessarily good for
cauliflower. I can't even have a lot of vegetables, to be honest. Okay. I'm more of like the carnivore diet person.
Okay.
Just works best for me.
For you, yeah.
So I think that's something really great to talk about because not everybody can handle the diet that is out there saying that this is best for you.
Yeah.
No.
It's
not one size fits all.
It really
and
isn't.
that was where I started as a coach. I realized that every single one of my clients needed an individualized plan. There's a lot of coaching out there. There's a lot of programs out there, and it's a one size fits all. And multiple people will do it. There's going to be a percentage that are very successful on it, and there's going to be a percentage that are very frustrated and not getting success on it. So why individual coaching is so powerful is because, just like you said, it's looking at the profile. Where have they been? What kind of health conditions do they have? Are we looking at an anti-inflammatory diet? Do we need a low carb profile for this person? Are we looking, there's all these different dynamics that come into play. And it's not that one thing is good and something is bad. It's not necessarily good or bad. It just is, and what works for you, right?
I agree with that. I don't like that good and bad, because then you feel like you feel bad if you have a piece of dark chocolate or whatever. I mean, come on.
Right.
Or if you have the ice cream sundae because you're celebrating something, it's not about good or bad. It's just about making choices that overall, like you talked about that too, the 80-20.
Yes.
Like 80% of the time that you're making some good health choices.
Yes.
And 20% of the time, life is short.
Live life.
Right?
Live
your
life.
Absolutely.
I tell my clients all the time, it's not about deprivation. I will never advocate for deprivation. It's not about starvation. It's not about any of those things. It's about really that 80-20. I love that you said that, because that is one of my mottos, is like, it's just 80-20. If you can 80% of the time do the right things, the things that work for you, that are in alignment with what you're up to, 20% of the time you need to let your hair down and go out for the weekend, and it's a holiday weekend, and go have fun or go on a vacation and like feel like you can go,
try the foods there,
have some drinks and have some fun,
But that can't be the excuse every time. Like, your 80 turns into the 20, or 20 turns into the 80.
Yeah. I always tell women at this age, like, give yourself grace. This is a time frame to give ourselves grace,
Danielle says that a lot.
but not excuses. So those are very, it's a fine line. And a lot of my clients are like, I feel like I'm kind of giving myself grace, but then it kind of feels like an excuse. And like, how do I know what's the difference? And I'm like, you'll know what the difference is, because the difference is you're literally avoiding the uncomfortable thing, or the thing that you don't want to do. You're avoiding it. So you're coming up with a reason why, rather than saying, hey, this is hard, or this isn't feeling right today, and I'm going to pivot and I'm going to adapt differently. So it's not about giving up or giving yourself the out, but it's about finding that new road, that new pathway.
So I'm going to bring something up that might be a little touchy. What do you think about the GLP-1s and the weight loss drugs?
Ooh, great question.
Oh, man. Okay, so the GLP-1s.
Which is Ozempic
Yes.
and semaglutide, tirzepatide, all those. If people listening don't understand what that is. Yeah.
And this is like literally going to be, you're going to see me start talking about this a lot, because I'm huge on what's happening from those.
Yeah.
Our gut health is getting destroyed, and it's really not good. Our gut health is where there's so many things that happen in our gut, but producing hormones that are really powerful for our mental health. So let's just start there. If you lose all this weight on the GLP-1 and your gut health gets destroyed, and now you have depression and anxiety and nervous breakdowns and ADD and all the things, are you happy that you lost the weight?
You're miserable, but you're skinny.
But you're skinny. And then
because that's the messaging too, right? Like, the messaging is always, oh, we need to be thinner, we need to be skinnier.
I know.
But not stronger. So I have a lot of experience with those GLP-1s personally, and I prescribe them for patients. But I can tell you firsthand, you do lose muscle.
Yeah.
That's most of the weight that you lose.
Yeah.
And you do get osteoporosis, because if you're not, so when I put someone on it, there is a lot of coaching that goes into this. And if they're not willing to consistently weight train and do all these things, and to make sure their gut health is, it's a lot of work. You might as well just not be on it and do all the work.
Thank you.
So unless they're pre-diabetic and going down that path, it can be very helpful, or they're obese or whatever. So I think that you and the drug could work together for sure. So people who are having to go on a GLP-1 because they're medically unhealthy.
Yes.
And working with the life coach is great. But the ones that are wanting to lose 5 or 10 pounds and going on these medications, what they're not understanding is they're weakening their body.
Yes.
And their, like you said, their gut, their muscles, their brain. There's a lot of side effects that come with it. Tired, fatigue, grouchy, moody. There's
and stomach issues, right?
Stomach issues, throwing up.
Throwing up.
And
the friends that I know that,
you're losing weight because you're not eating, nor are you giving any nutrients to your body.
Right.
And the gastrointestinal, like people get diarrhea.
Oh,
it's very like uncomfortable.
And so instead of spending the money on those drugs, hire a life coach.
Thank you.
And do something that's sustainable.
Yes. I feel like those drugs, especially the ones that are prescribing them for weight loss, need to come with a health coach.
Absolutely.
Just like
100%.
like an antidepressant comes with a psychologist, you have to do both.
Yes.
I really feel like I've been saying this so much lately. I'm like, this needs to come with a health coach. Like I need to collaborate with more medical professionals that are doing this, or med spas or whatever. I really need to collaborate, because the thing is yes, can you drop some weight? Like you said, muscle mass is a lot of what they're dropping, water weight. The rebound is going to be gnarly.
But they're just not eating, so there's no calories.
Right, and then they eat normal and they're ravenous, so then they eat so much more than they normally would.
They get sick.
And it's just a yo-yo effect, right? And now we're really messing with our metabolism, and we're already having a hard time to manage our metabolism at this age. You add that in, now we're just doing a whole, kit and caboodle on it. So I definitely think that, so I also have I love supplementation. I went to school for holistic nutrition, so I really love adding supplementation to a lot of my clients' nutrition profile.
Vitamins, powders?
Just depending on what they need, where they're at. But I do have a supplement that I recommend for people who are on a GLP-1 or coming off of one. And so that basically helps reproduce in your own natural GLP-1 in your body. So that's what we're looking for. So I'm a holistic approach. Your body is so intelligent. It can heal itself. It does what it wants to. It can do what it needs to do. If we give it the right things and we kind of get out of the way sometimes, we're the ones that are messing it up. So I'm always looking to come back to nature. Like, how can we come back to a holistic approach and heal whatever we've maybe messed with? Anything like that. It's like an eating disorder. Like, you're going to have to heal all those parts. And it's not just the eating again, it's the mental part, right? When I work with clients about weight loss, we're talking about portion control, and, on a plate, for an example, when I grew up, we had those, normal dinner size plates, and I was an athlete, and my dad would be like, go have seconds, go have thirds. And I was like, yeah, I'm an athlete. Well, I came out of, being an athlete and started eating like that. And for me, just looking at a plate with that much food, that was normal to me. Like, that's how much food I needed to eat. So when we talk about, portion control and trying to really manage macros and things like that, it's also, you have to retrain your brain and like, what do I really need? How big is my stomach? Like, how much protein do I
need to be, right? There's that, the blue zones. We watched that show on, I think it was Netflix. And I think it was in Japan.
The healthiest people.
Okinawa. They have the 8 out of 10 rule. And so they eat when their fullness is at a level 8.
Love it.
Versus 10. And I kind of have been following that rule like lately, just because like the last few years, because I don't like the feeling of being really full. It like wears me out, and then I want to lie down, and I'm not productive after if I get that full. So when I'm at like an 8, I'll stop eating, and within like 20 minutes, I'm at like a 10.
That's the key.
Like, I'm super
interesting.
full.
20 minutes. You got it perfect. It's 20 minutes. Yeah.
So when you feel like an 8, your body's still filling up, and so 20 minutes later you're full.
So you're at a 10, and that's so important. That is such a huge thing that a lot of people don't realize, because they eat until they're full,
until they're at 10,
and then 20 minutes later,
and then they're 15.
And they're 15, and they're like, I don't feel so good.
Oh, and then you feel bad about yourself because you're just like, oh,
and you have no energy.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Your body then is like, what do I do with all this? Like, what do I do with all of this? Even if you're eating like balanced macros, and you're like, well, I ate healthy. This is another thing. Like, I ate healthy. I ate all these great balanced macros. It's fine, right? I can have as much as I want. No, you can't, because your body is like, I don't know what to do with all of this. You didn't move your body. I don't have anything to repair. Your muscles aren't torn up from your strength training exercises today. You didn't do any cardio, so I'm not trying to. It's not. It doesn't have anywhere for it to go.
It's confusing.
So it just stores it.
So what's a macro?
Macro. So proteins, fats, carbohydrates.
Okay.
Those are the 3 macros that we're looking at. Yeah.
Is there macro, and is there another one?
Micro?
Is there a micro?
Micronutrients would be like what? Fruits, vegetables, or do they all fall into
that? So interesting, because I would say that, so for carbs, for example, would you guys think fruits and vegetables are a protein, a fat, or a carb?
I'd say carb.
Yeah, they're carbs. So it would be like a micro. Like, that's where it kind of breaks down. Greek yogurt, I get asked this all the time. Is it a protein or a carb?
I mean, I think protein, but I don't know.
Protein. Are we wrong?
It's a protein, because the protein is higher than the carb content. So it just really depends. But that's a trick question, because if you have a regular yogurt, it's a carb.
Because it has sugar.
Yeah,
right?
and dairy is actually a carb. So, or a fat. Again, that's a
I
fine
see
line.
what you're saying. It's because it's a high protein yogurt.
Yes.
So the profile is what makes it a protein.
Right. And then
So it's not any yogurt.
Huh?
It's not any type
It's
of
not
yogurt.
No. And I always tell clients usually to stay away from yogurt, except for if it's Greek yogurt and it's not,
What about
sweetened.
Of course, the Greeks know how to do yogurt.
plain Greek yogurt from Costco?
I'm sorry?
The plain Greek yogurt from Costco,
Yes.
is that good?
Perfect.
Okay, here's a question I have. This is a good question because I consume yogurt on a regular basis. I personally prefer the full fat Fage Greek yogurt, 5%. If I don't have that, I would prefer the 2%.
Yep.
Here's what I don't love is the non-fat. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because they do have a non-fat Greek yogurt.
Yep.
How does that compare to a full fat Greek yogurt in terms of I want to be healthy?
Yeah, I love this question because, again, if you take a holistic approach, if you think of the whole, you start taking things out, what are they going to put in? Right.
Sugar usually.
So that's where, and also for our age, we need healthy fats and more than everyone thinks. Okay. So a lot of women who are trying to lose weight, they go so far away from fats. They're like, oh, fats, no. Like, it's like carbs, no, fats, no.
Fats will make me fat.
No,
good fats are good fats.
we need the healthy fats. And so we want the full fat. So to answer your question,
that makes me so
you
happy.
did such the right
That's
thing.
my
Ding, ding,
preference.
ding. Yes. And not only that, it tastes better,
Yeah,
right?
sometimes I feel bad when I'm getting the 5% full fat yogurt, but that is literally what my body loves.
Yeah, we need it. And so just to feel full, to feel full, so that we're not. So here's the other thing. When we're trying to lose weight, whenever we're trying to lose weight, we have to have a deficit. We have to, right? So 3,500 calories equals a pound of fat. So like if you are trying to lose a pound of fat in a week, you have to be in a 3,500 calorie deficit for that week. Okay. You can do that two ways. And how I suggest doing it is breaking it into half fitness and half nutrition. So taking 250 calories from your nutrition and burning an extra 250 calories in your fitness. That'll be 500 calories a day. That will give you your deficit to hit 1 pound of weight loss a week.
And that's sustainable, meaning we're not losing 10 pounds in a week and then gaining it back.
It's also reasonable because sometimes I think when people are trying to lose a lot of weight fast, it's like, did you gain a lot of weight fast?
No.
You didn't. It was over time. So how can you expect to have weight loss of 10 pounds in 1 week? Did you gain 10 pounds in 1 week? No, you didn't. It was like an ongoing choice that you made, and over a few months, you put on some weight. Well, then that's how you're going to lose it.
Yes.
Over a few months.
And your body adapts very well. So I always tell my clients, how long have you been at this weight? Or overweight by, let's say their goal is to lose 30 pounds. How long have you been 30 pounds overweight? If they say, I've been 30 pounds overweight since college and I'm now 50, okay, that's a long time. Your body is very used to that weight. It likes it. It's comfy here. It's going to be really hard. It's like taking something away. Like, oh, I'm taking away your left thumb. Like, I don't want you to get rid of that. I don't want you to take that away. I like it.
That makes
I'm
a
good
lot
here.
of sense.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I've figured out life
functions
with
that
this.
way.
And so when we go into a weight loss journey, I'm always like, there's a weight loss journey and then there's a maintenance phase, and that's important. The maintenance phase is probably the most important phase because how long are you going to be exactly? How long are you going to be there where you want to be? So all of that is, it's fun. It's a fun journey. It's a full-time job really to be
a commitment.
Yeah,
forever.
to being responsible for your health. And
it is. It's hard. That's why
and also
people don't do it.
Too, the choose your heart. We had an episode where we talked about hormone replacement therapy, and we were talking about you have to choose your heart in life, right? Because it's hard to be fit and to prioritize your fitness and your health and your nutrition, but it's also really hard to be overweight
and sick and disease ridden as you get older.
Yeah.
It's almost harder, to deal with those things as you get older. So
my clients have really gained that knowledge. They've really come to understand that this community, my clients have been with me for years and they've become sisters. We call it a sisterhood. It's a tribe. We all support each other. We have a platform where we get to communicate daily. It's on a walkie-talkie app, so it's not disrupting disrupting our like texting our phones or anything like that. But it is such a great place to be reminded that we're all in this together and that every day is a new day. There's different things that will come up, but having like-minded women share on a daily basis, a weekly basis, what's going on for them and how they're overcoming these obstacles, how they're pivoting, the things that are stopping them and how we're overcoming those, you know, speed bumps. All of that is such a big part of staying in a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. It's not just about, it cannot be about a quick fix. It cannot be about, you know, I tell my clients all the time, I'm like, if you did great, you know, 2 weeks out of the month, but the other 2 weeks you were mediocre, like your results are probably going to be mediocre. Like you're not going to, you have to be consistent. And especially with weight loss at this age, I keep going back to weight loss because most of the women that come to me are coming to me for weight loss
their primary
goal. That's what they think they want. They really come to me like, I want to lose this weight and then everything will be great. And
it's
I'm
just
like,
the whole transformation.
it's just a whole transformation.
The whole life changes when you can learn how to sustain being healthy.
Yeah.
And healthy means holistically healthy, every little aspect of your life.
And being in connection with your authentic self. Like, what is it that...
Yeah, being honest with yourself.
Honest with yourself. And having that self-trust, self-respect, self-love. It's a big piece of, you know, deciding how you want to operate in this life and who you want to be and how you want it to go for yourself, you know. Mindset is huge. I'm this month's tribe, we call it tribe time. Our monthly meetings was all about mindset and talking about what you, my clients hear this all the time, but I always say what you tell yourself is true. So be very careful what you're programming.
So true.
Yeah. Be careful what you're programming yourself. You know, we were going to talk about myths and like things that people say to themselves. And it's like, be careful about that, because if you buy into that and you tell yourself that, I have clients that tell me, I can't lose weight. I've tried everything. That's literally coming out of their mouth. But
your
how many
body's
times,
like, okay, you can't.
Yeah. Like how many times?
Manifestation, right?
Right.
It's that whole thing. You're manifesting something negative versus something positive.
And I wonder why it's so easy for us to be more negative. It takes just the same amount of energy to be positive, but we decide to do negative.
Well, you know, our brain's wired that way because of back years ago, we had to be on the defense all the time, just like survival. Think about caveman days. Like our brains were constantly in survival mode for years and years and years. So we think negative, something bad's going to happen. I have to be prepared.
We have to
prepare. Yeah. So that's why we go to negative first. It's unfortunate, but then we get into the cycles where we actually train it to be that way. And then by the time we're midlife, like we don't really, it's just normal. That's just how we go. That's just how we think, you know? So having a mindset shift is it's hard. It's not going to happen overnight. It's hard.
It's super hard, but it's super important.
Even know how mature you get and how aware you are. And no,
it's still hard.
I know you have to think positive. I know it, but it's so hard.
But how many times have you heard yourself say like, "Oh, I'm so stupid," or "This, I had this. Why can't I figure this out?"
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yep.
And you're like
with our setup,
right.
It's like,
and you were so mad at yourself. I could tell.
Totally. I was like sweating.
Yeah.
But
and it's like, or you can say, we're learning. This is just, you know, we're like, this is great because now this is not going to happen again. And I just overcame this obstacle.
I think it happens every time. But
Well, it might happen again, but it's okay.
That's midlife.
It'll get faster.
It's fine though. I mean, it's life. Life is not perfect, and we have to figure things out, and we just keep going.
And the best stories,
challenging ourselves.
I always say this: the best stories come from the little mishaps and the failures. Like from this, obviously this has been a great interview, but of course I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, we couldn't figure out the chords again, you know, because that is what makes the great story. So I always try to remember that because
I literally write it down every time.
We do. We even have a document. But anyways, it doesn't matter because again, these are what makes the great stories. But
I love it. I love it.
I had a question that I wanted to ask you. So let's say our listeners are loving this and they want to make an appointment and meet with you. Is it hybrid? Is it in person? Is it a combination of like a group? Like tell us what that looks like for our listeners in case they want to make an appointment with you.
Yeah, thank you.
And do a plug. Like how can they get a hold of you?
Yes,
Where are you? Phone numbers or
yes,
emails?
Yes. Lean Empowerment. So it's LEAN, like lean and empowerment .com is my website, and lots of options in there. The Healthy 100 Challenge is there in there. When I host it, we're actually finishing up. We're in our last 20 days of this one, so it was the self-love challenge. When I host another one, it'll be in there. One-on-one coaching. I have a 16-week intensive program called Ignite. So if you want to really fire it up and figure it out and get all the answers, it's literally it took me 5 months to write this program and record this program. It's my baby. It's everything I've ever learned, every certification. I used to teach at a college. Like, I wrote 7 curriculums for college curriculums. Wow. It's all of that. It's my years of being a personal trainer, yoga instructor, health and lifestyle coach, all in this program. Wow. So if you want to know all the, and you get it for a lifetime. So if you purchase it, you get it forever, and you can always go back to it. So it starts with mindset. We go into fitness, nutrition, and then accountability. So it's all the pillars again in that program. So to answer your question, I do a discovery call. It's usually 45 minutes to an hour, and I just would meet with you on a Zoom. Okay. I coach clients all over the country. Kathy is my only local client. I don't have any other clients that are local.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's going to change.
That's definitely going to change.
So
I really
you
hope
are
so.
in San Diego.
Yeah.
I'm based out of San Diego.
Okay.
I am wanting to start a women's walking group. I want to get involved with more of the medical, like I said, weight loss communities, and start helping there. I definitely think there's a need for that. But I do a Zoom one-on-one. If you're local, I would love to meet with you in person. That would be even better. I love one-on-one. I love this being in person.
Start like a hot girl walking club. You know how they have that hot girl walk on Instagram? You could start something like for San Diego.
Yeah. I know. I feel like it's just, I'm all about building community. I am a girly girl when it comes to connection with women. I went into this business when I was 20 years old. I went to a women's retreat. I did one exercise, a visualization exercise, and they asked me to come up with my perfect day. And my perfect day was, all these things, but really where I went to work was a wellness center where I worked with women, and I hugged women, and I helped women with their health and fitness.
I love that.
And that was the day I decided that this is what I was going to do with my life, and this was going to be my purpose and my passion and my path. And I haven't strayed from it since then. Yeah. It's really amazing because I don't think
powerful visualization,
right? I mean, most people at 20 years old don't know that. I also run women's retreats, by the way. I'm going to be hosting one in San Diego, so stay tuned if you're interested in a women's retreat.
Absolutely.
We're definitely interested.
Yes.
I've been hosting them in Florida for my clients. I'm going to be doing 2. I do one with my clients who work with me. It's a private retreat for them. And then I'm going to open one to the public, and that's going to be in San Diego. So you guys can stay tuned for that. But yeah, typically I do a Zoom discovery call with people who are interested. We just sit down and chat. What are you looking to do? Where have you been? And I like to start my clients with the Ignite program with coaching. So it's a curriculum on top of the coaching. So and it can be done self-paced. So it was built in a 16-week modality, and I realized very quickly I need way more time for that. So most women get through it in 6 months, the curriculum, and then coach with me twice a month as well. So they get those 2 things together. And that's usually where I start with people. And if they're like, that's a lot for me, or I'm not ready for all of that, can I just join the tribe and be part of the community and get into these group Zoom meetings monthly? That's also an option. It's a membership based, very affordable option for any woman who just wants to be part of a women's group who are all in the same thing together. We're all midlife, just trying to figure this out and support each other and encourage each other. And it's amazing the ripple effect in that community. One person will have a great workout, and it's like, oh, just because I saw that, Lauren, I'm going to go and do it.
Inspiring.
Yeah.
And I love that you have that community angle, because that's why we started the podcast. Obviously, we wanted to create a community for women so that they could also have, other women to use as a resource, and also their stories and, all the things. So that's why we created it. So you having the community is also such a cool part of lean empowerment, and I'm sure it's a great resource, and also it's good for longevity, because people need communities to grow old gracefully and with strength, inside. You have to have a community. It can't just be about health and fitness and sleeping well. You also have to have your people.
You do. And, I had a client this year who was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's been a client of mine for probably 5 years, and been, all of these women have been together, and we just held her up the entire time. We got her through her entire journey. And she, to this day, is like, I don't know how I would have gotten through that without all of you. I mean, really just the surgeries and all the things that you go through in that. So we go through so many things together.
1 in 8 women get breast cancer.
It's crazy.
So it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And to have a place for them to go and stay healthy or get the support. And then also if someone else gets diagnosed, you know, you have the support and the experience.
Yeah, and help each other. Like,
help
you know
each
what I mean?
other.
Like,
It's
oh yeah.
so important.
Yeah, PCOS. I have a couple women who have PCOS. So many things. We
Which
have all
we
the
just
things.
found out that 15% of the population has PCOS and only 75% don't even know they have it.
Wow.
So a big portion of women have PCOS and don't even know that they have it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just
I could see that.
unbelievable. Okay, so I wanted to ask, we're going to do some rapid fire questions, but what is your go-to supplements personally?
Oh man.
I know it's probably a lot.
Yes,
But the
and
must-haves.
And they
Yeah, maybe like the must-haves. Like
they
your top
change for
few.
me. They change for me, and it really is crazy because I'm a guinea pig. I will not ever ask any of my clients to do anything I haven't done.
I 100% agree with you. That's why I went on the weight loss drug.
Yeah, you're like, let me try this, and then I'm going to tell you exactly my experience, right? So for me, currently, I take a hormone balancing supplement every morning. I love it, and called Hormone Harmony by Happy Mammoth. A lot of people have been asking me lately about the beef tallow for pill form and face moisturizer.
I use that. I used one on my face.
I use it on my face as well. I kind of like it.
I did like it.
Has lavender, so I'm thankful
Mine
for that
had
because I'm like,
vanilla.
okay.
But yeah, I used it on my face. You had
Yeah.
to like warm it up,
Yeah.
press it in. But
Yeah.
wow, it was super.
It was nice.
moisturizing.
Yeah. And I
It
felt
did
like
not
it
smell
tightened.
like beef fat.
No, it did not. Thank
It
goodness.
smells like vanilla, and I used it on my hands too because
Yeah.
those tend to like look all.
Yeah. But I do know a couple women that have tried Primal Queen, which is the beef tallow in the pill form, that say it helps a lot with sleep and for hormone balancing as well. But Happy Hormones by Happy Mammoth, or Happy Mammoth Hormone Harmony, is my go-to. I wake up to that every morning. It's by my bed. I take an omega-3.
Which one?
Every day. I just do the one from Costco.
Okay. Does it make you burp?
No.
Okay.
Never.
Do
And I
you
take it
like
on
the
an empty stomach.
sports medicine brand. It's like black. Is that the
No,
one?
no.
Okay.
It's just like the big Kirkland. Like it's
Okay.
nothing fancy.
And it doesn't make you burp.
Not
fish
at all.
oil.
Not at all. And I take it every morning on an empty stomach. Like I don't.
Yeah, I take
don't.
4,000, I think, milligrams of
No wonder your skin is glowing the way it is.
fish oil.
I feel like you can't probably have too much. I don't know. I mean, I should probably not say that.
I think
on the
it just
record, but
depends on, but it's very good for you, especially at my age, because it hurts, my bones hurt.
Hurt, yes,
So,
joints, yes.
It
yeah.
helps with joints and skin
Yes,
and all
yes,
the things.
yes,
And
yes.
my dry eyes.
And brain and dry eyes.
Absolutely.
And your brain. Yeah.
Oh yeah, your cognition.
What
I do-
about
I-
fiber?
Yes, fiber.
Huge, right?
So
gut health
huge.
you're
Gut
talking about.
Okay, so one of the biggest, again, things that I'm working on this year with my clients is gut health. Like I told them at the very beginning of the year, I'm like, we're going to talk a lot about gut health. We're going to talk a lot about anti-inflammatory nutrition. We're going to talk about workouts that actually work for our age. Like we're just getting down to the nitty gritty, but gut health is so important. So many women don't realize some of the basics of gut health. Even to the point of like TMI. This is a women's show, right? Like,
Yeah.
we were talking.
TMI.
We were talking about
Good.
gas, and a couple of my clients were like, "Well, isn't it normal to be burping and having gas?" And I was like, "Actually, no."
Right.
Like what? And then I had a client. She's like, "Oh my gosh!" All of a sudden, I changed, some things, and I do have a supplement for gut health that I'm very passionate about. That all of my clients are on right now. It's called Happy Juice. It's by Mari. Reach out to me if you want to know about it.
AMARE.
Yes,
I think
yes.
Kathy had mentioned that. company
Yes,
to
she's
me.
my clients are getting ridiculous results from this
So
supplement.
Happy Juice, is that the same? It's not the same company as the Happy Hormones.
No.
Okay.
Happy
We just
Mammoth.
like to be happy.
Yeah. There's just a lot of
Everyone's
happy.
happy.
It's just really funny that in all these supplements, like, we need to be happy. Like, let's do all this. But again, coming from the gut, then making
It does make
the
you
brain
happy.
gut axis, so like we have to fix the gut so we can be happy. That supplement has been amazing for my clients. Not only have they lost so many inches, especially around the midsection, just feeling so much better, like really happier, just
energy.
more
Is it a
energy.
probiotic? What is it?
It's a probiotic, a prebiotic, a phytobiotic. So that was the first time I'd ever heard of
Yeah, what
that.
is that?
Coming from a plant, plant source, like, but biotic. I don't.
Oh, like phyto, like
Phyto,
PHY.
Yes,
okay.
yes. And so it's like I've never heard of. I was like, what? I've heard of pre and pro, but phyto, like this is awesome. I swear by it. It's pretty awesome. Those probiotics are big for people that don't take anything for your gut. I mean, you start there. That's like the elementary. You start with a probiotic, and then you want to add a prebiotic, and then if you need digestive enzymes, that's some of my clients need that for additional help.
What about creatine?
Oh man, this has been asked lately a lot in my tribe.
It's all over.
I know. And I really feel like, so what I know about creatine, for me, I go back to my years of personal training, and I was young when I did personal training. So it was always like, be careful with creatine if you're a female, because you could gain weight on it, but it is going to help with muscle sustainability and building. That's what is hard at our age, is that we need to sustain the muscle that we build, not
But
just
you have to be
it.
building it.
But you have to be building it.
Yeah.
And also it's supposed to be good for brain health.
Yeah.
But listen, I haven't really like researched and done my own studies about it, but a lot of people and scientists have been talking about creatine in midlife for women.
I've been taking it myself.
I have
You
been
have?
too.
You both have. Okay.
But I do think
take
you
a
need to
powder.
be working out.
Well, and you're supposed to, from what I read, it's most helpful if you take it after a like strength training workout versus
Yes.
just waking up in the
Yes.
morning and taking it.
Yes.
So I was taking it in the morning, and when I read that, it made sense because it helps, build those muscles. It's kind of like having a protein shake after an
Yes.
intensive workout.
Yeah.
So that's what I started doing. I just make myself a protein shake, and then I put in my creatine. And I don't necessarily have it every day, but I feel like I should, but I don't always strength train every day. So now I'm trying to like couple it with my strength training.
Yeah, I would say that's the best protocol. I don't take it currently, but I'm actually, being the guinea pig that I am, I probably will start, because I have multiple clients that are taking it and then are asking about it. And I think the important piece you guys just said, you have to you have to be working out if you're going to be taking it. If you're going to take it,
If anything.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
I think I take the one from Mind Body.
I take one that my son found from Amazon because he did a lot of research on it too, and he says that some companies will mark up the creatine because it's attached to a brand, but he's like, ultimately it's the exact same thing. So you just want to get like a high quality one from Amazon, and don't get like sucked into paying the extra cost of it being like attached to a brand name. I don't know if that's good advice, but that's what I took, the one he bought me from Amazon.
Mine also has taurine in it.
I've heard that's
I
supposed to
don't
be
know
good
anything
coupled
about
with it
taurine.
for
Yeah,
women,
I don't
know. But I also do a vitamin C, lipospheric vitamin C, and
from
glutathione.
Or from
No, they're from Amazon. It's like a packet, because it's supposed to, when it's lipospheric, it absorbs a lot better into your system. Because if you take a vitamin, you barely get any of those nutrients.
Right.
So they're trying to, it's kind of like the bus to your gut. So they're trying to get it to your gut, and you absorb as much as you can. So lipospheric is the way
Bioavailable is what I'm always looking for, bioavailable supplementation. So a lot of powder form stuff, which you're drinking a lot, but we got to drink a lot of water anyway. So add some supplements
taste
to it.
better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So that was my questions. I think I had, okay, let's do some rapid fires.
Yes, and we can like maybe jump around. Are you
Yeah.
in health and wellness?
Yes.
Okay, because I want to ask one of the yoga inspired ones, so you can go first, and then I'll.
Also, she never talked really about much of yoga.
I know.
You teach yoga.
It's a big piece of my life. Yes, I've been teaching since 2008. I've been a yoga instructor. I've been practicing since 2000. I actually started with Bikram yoga, the original hot yoga.
Yes.
I started there because I developed asthma after running my second marathon. My first marathon, because I actually used an inhaler, my second one. But my first marathon, I developed asthma, and I was blown away. I went to a specialist. He's like, you have full-blown asthma. You're going to be on steroids and inhalers the rest of your life. And I was like, oh, this doesn't work for me. Like, first of all, I'm in my 20s. Second of all, I'm a fitness person. I don't want to be carrying around it. No. And that's actually what led me to my holistic nutrition schooling, because I cured my own asthma in 6 months, and it is possible. It was very strict regimen. I had to be on it, but the modality that I used for exercise was Bikram yoga, the hot yoga. And so those two things together, I was asthma free, but I started there, and I've been a yoga instructor ever since. So a lot of years in the game.
So do you teach classes now?
Yeah, I do.
Where do you teach?
Fire and Flow Hot Yoga in Oceanside.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a brand new studio. It's amazing. I've taught for a lot of different corporations and studios.
So when I did research on you, I realized that you worked for the same studio that a friend of mine that I grew up with owns.
Yeah.
And I remember Kathy mentioning, my niece is opening a yoga studio, but I didn't remember the name, and then when I saw that I went and looked at the staff, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm really excited that you work there, because now I have to get Christiana on the show.
Yeah, she's amazing. They're amazing. That studio is amazing. We use infrared heating panels. It's a very different type of hot room than I've ever been in my entire life. But infrared heat goes from the inside out, not the outside in. And then we pump in heat and humidity as well. So it's a very hot room. It is, it's a great experience there.
I live in Valley Center, so I can shoot on over there.
Yeah. I love yoga is a big part of my again, mental health routine and regimen. If ever I'm having a bad day, stressed out day, a depressed day, I go to yoga. That's where I go.
That's like you, Renee.
Yeah, yoga has been really huge for me recently too. And I've been doing yoga for a while, but I have reconnected with it. And yeah, it's been super life-changing. Yeah. And it helps me sleep better. And I love the whole concept of yoga on and off the mat. Because yes, yoga is on the mat, but also it's a mindset shift. And so I got a couple of really cool books. One's called the Radiance Sutras, which was recommended by a good friend of mine who also uses yoga. And then another one was about yoga philosophies and how you can incorporate the poses and what the meaning behind them, and also just your thought process off the mat. So those two books have been really helpful.
I love that, because I tell my students all the time, I say, how you handle this room, because it's a hot room, right? It's challenging. There's a lot of moments in that room where you want to give up, walk out, grab water, do whatever, distract yourself, fidget. I always say fidgeting is your mind's way of telling your body to get out of an uncomfortable situation. But I always tell my students, however you handle yourself in this room is how you handle yourself outside this room. And the tools that you gain in this room, like discipline, patience, self-acceptance, you get to take with you outside this room as well and use them in real life. So I love that you have already correlated that huge connection. It's a mind-body connection, but I always tell people, I'm like, yes, it's great for your body. Absolutely. We need to keep flexible and stretching our bodies. But really in the mental aspect, like if you can really tap into the meditative state, and meditation, by the way, is not the state of nothingness. A lot of people are like, I can't meditate because I can't think of nothing. I always tell people meditation is mindfulness. It's what you put in the space of stillness and silence. That's meditation. So it's intentional mindfulness, putting something, a single thought in a single moment, instead of just trying to come to nothing. You're not going to come to nothing. Your brain's going to be like, let's fill this up. Let's put something here. We can't go nothing, right? So in that space of stillness and silence, what are you putting into that space? So I love giving tips on, especially for stress management, or mindfulness, just breathing exercises, techniques, inhaling for a certain amount of time, exhaling for a certain amount of time, and then maybe adding a mantra to that, like inhale, peace, love, abundance, exhale out stress, worry, and fear, and using that as your mantra while you're in class, or in Savasana when you're in stillness, like, I am healthy, I am happy, I am abundant, I am healthy, I am happy, I am abundant. I always tell my students, pick something new each time, something you're working on, but it's a powerful space, and you can program your brain just as like you're, and train your brain just like you're training your body while you're in that space.
That's amazing.
And even just a deep sigh. I've been doing that lately, and my family thinks I'm upset. And I'm like, I'm really not, though. Like, I feel so much better when I do a deep sigh. I'm not doing it.
That is so hilarious. My son literally 2 days ago, he came up next to me, he goes, I go, what's wrong, bud? He goes, you always do that. I was like, I do, and it feels good.
It does.
It feels so
and
good.
I don't know why people, like, especially my family, they're like, she's upset about something.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it really, like, it's like a intentional sigh.
Yes.
Like, when I take a deep breath and I let it go, I actually am letting that thought go.
Yeah.
And so, and then when they say that, I'm like, don't do that, because now I got to sigh again. gonna let that go. But it really does help.
It's
that
like
intentional
energy
side.
buildup, right?
Yeah.
Like all that energy is built up, and then you're just like, let it go.
Yep.
And that's why I'm big on moving your energy, like movement. Again, we have to move it through. If it gets stagnant, that's what causes disease in the body. So I always tell people, like, we want to move this stuff through. And when we are most uncomfortable, like not feeling our best, depressed, low energy, whatever, down and out, we're never motivated to move our bodies. That is the time that we're never motivated. And what do I tell my clients? I have a key that I tell everybody this every single time. Go and walk. Get outside and walk. I don't care if it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes out, 5 minutes back from your house. Get some fresh air.
Change the scenery
outside and walk. It is insane how much you can shift your mindset in that walking. But I do want to recommend for middle-aged women, 45 minutes of walking a day is kind of the prescribed sweet spot. So I know it's time consuming, but I walk every day. That's my thing. I love to walk.
I follow this woman on Instagram, and she did an experiment where she picked 6 things to do for 6 months to see like what would have the most impact on her health. And then she shared her top 3 after doing it for 6 months. And the first one was walking for 45 minutes every single day. She does it rain or shine, and also snow, because she's in like a cold state. She's in Ohio.
Yeah.
The second one was strength training, like 3 or 4 times a week, I think she said. And the third one, I want to say it was like a reduction in alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
absolutely.
that she doesn't drink at all.
Right.
Like it's drastically reduced from what she did before. But I thought it was so interesting that the walking for 45 minutes, it was her number one change that she felt made the most impact in her trying to be healthy for 6 months, above all everything.
I'm a big, I tell people I've helped a lot of people lose weight. My very first client was my sister. I helped her lose 80 pounds.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
she was a teacher, very, very overwhelmed. And I said, sis, all I want you to do is walk for 20 minutes a day and cut your portions in half.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay.
So rapid fire. We
Okay.
got off on tangent, but that was a great tangent to get off on.
One word answer: sauna or cold plunge?
Sauna. That was a hard one.
Great.
I do like cold.
One word answer: favorite lift or movement?
I think I have to say walking. You guys, like I said, when I was postpartum, I was dealing with massive depression, a depression I've never experienced in my life. My dad was like, put on your shoes and get out and walk with me. And I was like, I don't feel like it. He's like, I don't care. We're going to walk. And then like we
I
walked.
love that.
So that's what got me back moving again. And that's how I started my Healthy Hunter Challenge. I was like, just walk for 20 minutes,
It's also
Sasha.
really easy to do anywhere.
Anywhere.
Like you don't have to be super fit to walk. Everybody walks.
You could have done it in Copenhagen.
I did
Oh, the
walk.
100-day challenge.
You could have been on the
That's
Healthy Hunter
true.
Challenge.
You know what I was afraid of? I was afraid of like not being able to eat danishes.
Oh.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with food.
You
it was
could
just
still
a
eat
movement.
danishes. You would just have to go walk.
Yeah, it was.
We were walking like 25,000 steps a day.
Well, maybe we'll do
you
the
already
next
did it.
100.
Yeah.
You had a yoga one. Which one did you?
mine is because yoga. I love yoga. Favorite yoga pose.
Oh, forever it was triangle, but I haven't been asked this question in a lot of years, so I haven't even thought about that one. But it was triangle because it's such a warrior pose. It's a powerful pose, and if you actually know how to do it correctly, every muscle is engaged, and it's just a strong posture, and it challenges your mental strength so much too. Because if you've ever been in triangle pose, you're like, when are we going to come out of this posture? When will this teacher say we can come out? But I have to say that camel is probably one of my favorites, or wheel. It's the deepest back bends that we do, and opens the heart and throat chakra, which I feel for me, we store emotions in our heart and throat chakras. So whenever we can't release, we have to put it somewhere, and that's where we put it. You'll see a lot of people with rounded shoulders who are holding on to a lot of heavy weight, right? This is like, it's so those postures really open up and expose. It's very vulnerable. Usually,
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It is very vulnerable.
very, very fear-based, because you're going backwards and you're going backwards head first. So your brain's like, this isn't good. So you have to like literally tell yourself it's great. And then whatever comes up, dizzy, nauseous, lightheaded, like you're going to throw up. Instead of saying like, these are bad things, I'm always telling my students like, it's good. You're getting rid of it. It's coming up and out. That's what we want.
Yeah, I love that. So I was just thinking, this has been such a pleasure for me to hear all of this. You have so much insight, so much knowledge. And it was purely a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank
So
you
much joy
so
today. I
much.
just got so much information, and I really think our listeners are looking for all of this information. So I feel like you're going to be a guest often.
Thank
yeah,
you.
I was going to say,
Because
we
I-
definitely have to have you
Thank
on
you.
again.
I would
Yes.
love that. This has been awesome. I'm like, I could talk to you ladies like for hours.
Yeah,
Like, this is,
that's what
obviously
I feel
light
like
up.
that
This is my
too.
passion. So.
Yeah, and you're beautiful. You do.
thank
You have a
you.
beautiful
Thank
light,
you.
positive light around
thank
you, and
Thank you.
it makes me want to work with you. And so I can't even
thank you.
imagine your clients probably just love you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
I was thinking
much.
the same thing. I was thinking it would be so nice to have you in my corner rooting for my health and
Yeah.
fitness and spiritual and mental journey. And I was going to say that earlier and I completely forgot, but I think it's not often that you have someone like that in your life, you know, and the fact that you do that, like, it's making me emotional just thinking about it, but you know, that you do that for other people. I mean, that's incredible. And it's an incredible
Thank you.
gift that
Thank
you
you. Thank you.
offer,
Thank
you know,
you.
your clients. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that they feel very attached to you, right?
They
I
do.
mean,
They are.
Yeah.
Some of them have tried to stray away. They're like, I'm going to try this on my own. They come right back. They're like, I can't do it on my own. What am I
because
thinking?
You're
What-
like their
yeah.
cheerleader. And
Well, I
you
always
care
say to
about
people,
them.
when's the last time, ladies, when's the last time someone's like, when have we got that gold star that we got on the board? Or like, you know what I mean? It's
For
like,
women, been a long
Mother's
time.
Day,
You don't
Mother's,
even get stuff in your stocking, folks. Come on.
I'm telling you, it's, we
No holidays.
we don't have that. And if you work for somebody, when's the last time your employer has really taken a time to say you're doing such a great, you know, what your evaluation,
Yeah.
like every 6 months or something. So having, like you said, like just an advocate for you
Yeah.
and someone, I create a space where women can feel safe to share all their things, their guilt, their shame,
Yeah.
their dreams that they've left behind, their goals, their fears. You know, we talk about relationships with their husbands and losses and how to navigate all the things in life.
Because that all is interconnected.
It's all interconnected.
That's the thing.
It
It's like a
is.
big web.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if we're not dealing with all parts, or an octopus, let's say, if we're not dealing with all of the arms,
Yeah.
you know, it's something is going to suffer
Yeah.
always. And I love that you tackle all of those elements.
Thank you.
Because health is really not just about how much you move and how well you eat and
Right.
how well you sleep, you
Right.
know? Like you
Right.
said, like you have to really pay attention to all of the components and how they're intertwined.
I want to thank both of you guys so much for having me and for allowing me to share this with your listeners. I've been challenged with expressing exactly what I do and what that feels like. When Kathy came along, our first discovery call, I said, I don't know how to tell you how it's going to feel until you actually feel it. Mm-hmm. And she came into the tribe and she said, I never in a million years would have thought this would be my outlet. She now is on our, we use Voxer. So she's on Voxer every morning on her way to work. She used to snack on the way to work. You know, that was her distraction. And now she's getting empowered by these
Voxer,
women, the walkie-talkie app that we use. And you're part of a group. So everybody's chiming in
how
every day. So
fun.
we get to chime in every day. I chime in and give you guys fitness tips,
That is
nutrition
really
tips,
Encouragement.
give you something for the weekend, give you something for Monday, you know, like we're all just sharing on there. But she's like, it's insane how much, I just bring her up because she's a friend of yours,
Yeah.
but like how much my life has changed being part of this community. I never saw it coming. Like I never thought there would be something this powerful in my life. When I met with you, I thought
at
you were
this
just going to
point,
help me
too,
lose
I
weight.
mean, what a breath of fresh air, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because midlife is magical in that way, right?
Yeah.
It's so transformative to finally put your health and your life as a priority,
You said the word I was going to say.
you know?
Yeah. It's
'Cause I
all
don't
about
think-
prioritizing.
Well, we're doing that a lot for everybody else. No one's in our corner. We're supporting everyone else. It could be a family of 5. That's a lot of people to be supporting. And then you have parents. You know, it's a lot. So to have someone in your corner specifically for you,
You. Yes.
and nobody else,
It's huge.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And also, we surveyed our listeners early on and we asked them, what they wanted to, we had some drop down menu questions where they would click things, right? the teacher in me, right, had to make sure that they had options.
I love it.
But then at the end, I wanted to keep it open-ended, like, what do you want to learn about? And the thing that kept coming up was nutrition, fitness, and how to navigate midlife, body changes. And this hit all of that, in addition to the spirituality, in addition to the yoga and all of it. So, I mean, you hit so many bars today. So we are so grateful for having you and for taking the time to be on Crazy Stupid Midlife.
Yes.
So
and don't forget to go to your website, which is
Lean Empowerment. Yep. Leanempowerment.com.
And that's where you can find you. You can set an appointment. You can get all of the information about what you do and how to become involved.
And we'd love to link the supplements you mentioned. I don't know if it's like a special link.
Yes.
And your pancakes.
Yeah, and the pancake
We'll
recipe.
give a little recipe
Yes,
away.
yes.
Yeah, we got to give them a name.
One of the things that I do on the Healthy Hunter Challenge, by the way, is I get a recipe of the week. There's so many things on Healthy Hunter Challenge. You guys
We
gotta
didn't
come to the
even
next
touch on
one.
so many things. That's why I'm thinking she needs to be a regular
Yeah,
guest
I was
because we'll
thinking
have
that
questions with the guests. And so we'll be able to answer them as we go.
Yeah.
I think.
Or maybe what would be kind of fun, I just thought of this, is if we do the challenge and then we share it, on the
that
podcast
would be super
and have
fun
you
to
on
see.
again
That would be
after.
fun. That'd be fun.
And we could talk about
Yeah, and if
our
any of
journey
the
with it.
listeners want to join on
That's
the
a
100
great
challenge,
That would
Yeah.
be fun.
then
so the Healthy
we
Hunter,
can
Maybe that's
build a
what we should
community
do.
for Crazy
We should-
Stupid
we should
Midlife
make one.
challenge.
where they can all
that would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
so,
could be from anywhere. So even a different country, because we have listeners
all over.
We do.
Even in Europe, by the way.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like mind-blowing. How
my
we have
best
so
friend
many-
lives in Europe.
Yeah, we have a lot of influence. Well, we have, a big chunk in Greece. That's probably because, I'm half Greek, so it's maybe my family. But I always look on there and I'm like, wow,
You never know.
Because I've only told a couple of my cousins, and maybe they're just like sharing it
Love
around.
it.
But we have a following, so
That's
it would be really
amazing.
cool if we had a Crazy Stupid
Yeah.
Midlife healthy.
Yes.
Challenge.
Healthy Hunter Challenge. I would
CSM.
love that. I
Because
would
the
love
community
that.
is what we're trying to build.
Yes.
For
That's
this
exactly what we're trying
this
to build.
age group, for women going through all of these things together.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be married. You can be single. You can be a no kid, like whatever your situation is, where it's
You have a community.
you have a
I
community.
love that. I do. I loved the minute I found out about you and learned about what you guys were up to. I was like, this is in perfect alignment. I
It is.
love these
And
women.
that's how we felt about you.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
So it was like
thank you.
meant to be. Our stars aligned.
Yes. It was a pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure, and I'm looking forward to more time with you ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
we
you
always
so much.
end with a stay. So what should we say? I love that we always say stay curious and stay crazy, of course. But what should be our first one? Stay what? Like, what would you say?
Stay
sums up-
consistent.
Stay consistent.
Oh my goodness. Yes,
There you
that's
go.
the word. I'm going to coin that as the word of the century. Stay consistent. If you
Yes.
do something consistently, you will see a change.
Yes.
Period. Stay consistent. Beautiful.
So we can say,
Stay consistent.
stay consistent, stay curious, and stay just a little bit. We always say crazy.
Crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love
So
it.
Thank you for
being
listening.
here.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
to
me.
our listeners.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
See you next time.
Till
see
next
you
time.
next time.
Yes. Namaste.